The ultimate mortgage pre-approval checklist. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jeff Trevarthen, Jeff the Mortgage Bro here. Thanks so much for watching the video today. I thought I'd dive deep into the list of documentation that you want to get together and make sure that you have so that you're ready to go for buying your first property or your next property or an investment property or whatever property is number that you're on that you're going to buy. These are the different things that you may need to have in terms of paperwork ready to go for you. But first, before I jump into it, do me a huge favor. If you like this video, go ahead and click on the like button. And if you like my stuff that I'm putting out, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it. And that way you'll get notified whenever my new videos come out, usually a couple times a week, okay? So let's just jump right into it here. This is a comprehensive list of things that you might need. Most people don't need all of this stuff, but depending on your situation, you may need some of this stuff, okay? So personal information that you're gonna have, we're gonna make sure you need your full legal name of all the applicants that are gonna be on the application. You need to make sure you have social security numbers for all the applicants that are going to be on the application. You need to make sure you have date of birth for all the applicants, contact information such as phone numbers and email addresses, and permanent address history for the past 2 years. Those are some personal information, things that you might need to have when you're filling out a loan application or a loan questionnaire, okay? We're also going to need to look at things that have to do with your employment and income. So we're going to need employment history for the past 2 years, okay? For every applicant that's on the application, we're going to need pay stubs for the last 30 days. We're going to need W-2 forms for the past 2 years if you're a salaried or you're employed. We're going to need tax return for the past 2 years. If you're self-employed or if you're doing jumbo transactions, you're definitely going to need those. Or if you have rental income, we're definitely going to need tax returns as well. And then you're going to need proof of additional income. So any bonuses, alimony, child support, anything like that, commissions, those are all things that we're going to need to figure out how to verify. So copies of your last check that you get at the end of the year are definitely helpful over the last couple of years so we can figure out what those numbers are for you, okay? We're going to look at asset information. So assets could include bank statements for the last 2 months, if that's where you have your money. So checking accounts, savings accounts, and any other investment accounts that you might have. So 2 months worth of history for those. Any retirement accounts that you want to include in your application. So things like 401ks, IRAs, those are definitely things that a lot of people use for down payment or for reserves that you may need to document. So definitely the last 2 statements of those. So a lot of times those come out quarterly. So you're going to need half a year worth of IRA or 401k statements. If you're going to get a gift for the down payment or for closing costs, a gift letter and proof of funds, if any part of the down payment is coming from a gift. Or any part of the closing costs are coming from the gift, okay? And then lastly, documentation for any large deposits over the last 2 months, especially if they're kind of out of the ordinary. Typically what a large deposit is if you look at your monthly income and if it's like $8,000, a large deposit would be anything over $4,000. So take what your income is, divide it by 2, and anything greater than that would be considered a large deposit. So we want to source where that money comes from to make sure that it's not a loan. And if it is a loan, we want to make sure we document that it is a loan, okay? We're going to look at your credit and debt. So your credit is, you make sure that you just check the box for authorizing us to run your credit. You may have to pay a fee for that in some instances. So just be aware that you'll need to pay for your own credit score sometimes. But a mortgage algorithm is different than any other free credit score that you get. You're going to run 3 different credit bureaus. It's going to be a very detailed report. And again, it's different than what you might see like on an auto loan or things like that. And it's really important that you get that because we need all that information to help you qualify for a loan. Okay. If you're going to buy a house, you're going to have your credit run. Information on outstanding debts, so like credit cards, car loans, student loans, things like that, just so that we have an idea. Your credit report should show us all that information, but in some instances, maybe it doesn't pull up or maybe that credit doesn't report to the bureaus. It's still something we need to report on the loan application. So make sure that you have that available if that's your case. And then lastly, any explanation letter for any late payments or derogatory credit history. Okay, so if you've had a bankruptcy or a short sale or a foreclosure in the last several years, that might be something we we might need to document and take a look at. Okay. Property information, purchase agreement of property and the listing details, so that we know what we're getting into when we're trying to lend on that property for you. Homeowners association information, if applicable, and copy of the property's MLS listing if applicable. So that's kind of a funny word, isn't it? Applicable. In any event, you need to have that property information available for you as well. And then any other documentation you might need. So if you've been divorced, you're definitely going to need a divorce decree or a separation agreement. If you have bankruptcy, you're going to definitely have to have the bankruptcy discharge paperwork, and a copy of your driver's license or other identification in a lot of instances is going to be important for you when you're trying to buy a house. And then lastly, some additional information that you might need to provide, information on any co-borrowers or co-signers that are going to help you out. You can have what's called non-argument co-borrowers in some instances, or you can have co-signers that are going to live in the property with you. Explanation of any gaps in employment or changes in income. So if you went from one job to the next and there was a gap of a month or 6 months or whatever, we still need to figure out, why was there a gap, so that we can figure out how to make sure that you qualify for the loan. Homeownership history for the past 2 years is something you need. So whether you rent or you own, you still need to make sure you provide that. And then any details of any other real estate that's owned outside of the transaction that we're working on right now. Okay. So that is a comprehensive list for you of the different stuff that you're going to need for a pre-approval to get a mortgage. So just have all of that information lined up for us. It's best if you have it in PDF document copy form, so that when you're ready to go, we have all that information just easily accessible for us to be able to send into our underwriters. Okay. If you guys have any questions at all, please make sure you reach out to me. I know this is a lot. You don't have to know everything about mortgages. I try to know all that information for you. So if you guys have any questions below, I'm going to put my calendar down in the comments section, and then also in the description of this video. So if you want to get a hold of me, please make sure you reach out to me, and I look forward to see you guys on the next show. Have a good one, guys. Bye.